technology store. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watching top of the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. Grab your popcorn, sit right down.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Let's talk James Gunn's Superman. Alan and I have seen it. We will talk to you about it, plus loads of news, including early reactions to 30-minute preview of Fantastic Four. News and reviews. We'll talk spoilers and non-spoilers, plus your chat comments and questions. And Alan Ng hopefully will be here today. You never know with him. He's always, just what can you say? Typical.
I'm really busy at the moment with Dr. Doom, but I'll say it, Alan.
Someone is busy with Dr. Doom right now. And that is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I feel like I just woke up from last night. And
yeah, we all saw Superman, of course. We were up to midnight, our time at least, talking Superman with Gary from Nerdrotic, Steph from My Nerdy Home,
DA,
Derek Anderson, DA, Dante, Verbal Riot, Angry Badger. It was a little group like, let's chat, let's commiserate. I don't know. Make of it what you will. So I think all of us had problems. There's not like...
It's not a perfect movie.
It's not a perfect movie, but I think I liked it a little better than others, but I still have huge problems. We will get into it. So
yeah, the chat kind of got on you for it was like
what?
Well, it's basically you had a lot of negative things to say about it, but you recommend the movie anyways.
I want to see it again.
I definitely.
It's weird. It's like, look, is it a 6 out of 10? Probably a 6 out of 10. Okay, so now you got the review right up front. But there are a lot of things I like too. I mean, I think you can watch that stream. It wasn't a formal review. It was everyone chiming in with reactions and bringing up problems. It was like being at the comic shop and, complaining about the latest superhero movie that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that bothered people that didn't bother me, especially the lore change. I had zero problem with it.
That is one of my biggest problems with the movie. So let's save it because we have a lot of news stories to go over. But let's say hi to some people.
Yeah. Hey, Lord Comet for 2. Afternoon, Chris Gore. Hope you're doing good. Miss me.
Yes. Thanks, Lord Comet.
Marco CCS. Oh no, Marco CC 565. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Alan.
That's right.
All right, and then James Raschuti, aka Gen X Fed. Hello from Italy.
Hey, James. Good to hear from you. That's great. Italy must be fun.
Callahan Media. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this.
Get ready. And one more here.
Yeah,
sorry.
here we go. And RJ McReady for 2. Robert Meyer Burnett loved Superman.
Yeah, as soon as our stream was over, I went and watched his stream. It was like going back and forth with other people's streams. So
yeah. Well, Yellow Flash liked it.
Yeah. Dante liked it.
Dante liked it. I liked it. Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch. Shop.filmthreat.com.
Thank you, Lord Thoth. Appreciate you. So go to the shop. We've got our America AF collection. We've got the summer collection. They're all here for a limited time. So go to shop.filmthreat.com and check it out. Get these designs. They're going away in August.
Mhm.
That's when we switch to
Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween. The Spirit of Halloween collection.
Yeah.
That's what it will be called. So that's great. And Lord Thoth.
Lord Comment for 2. Release the Kraken. That's how I view a Chris Gore rant.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Thanks. So, hey, some things I want to let you know about. There is a Film Threat meetup. Well, it's not Film Threats meetup only. It's Gary from Nerdrotic. It's Gabe El-Taib from Big Man Comics. Alan from Film Threat. You know
And
about
Chris
him?
from Film Threat.
Yeah, both of us. It is Saturday, July 26th at 8 p.m. at Urban Coal Fired Pizza. And there'll be a private area where you can go in. I believe you have to sign up, but that's where it will be. Put it on your calendar. That's what's happening. I've got some, Gabe actually has a message. Let's check out his message about this event, which is going to be a lot of fun. Here he is. I haven't watched this. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, Gabe El-Taib here, bigmancomics.com. I have a special event for you Saturday, July 26th during the San Diego Comic-Con right here in beautiful San Diego. Come to booth 1705. You'll be able to check out Empyrean Earth Illuminated, my new sci-fi comic. You'll be able to see a preview of the Unstoppable Tiger Scout novel. And when you're done with all of that, join me here at Urban Coal Fired Pizza. We're going to have a great party Saturday, July 26th at 8 p.m. I'll be here with Gary, Nerdrotic, and Chris and Alan from Film Threat. We're going to have an awesome time celebrating all things pop culture. You have my personal invitation. There's going to be an Eventbrite. Follow us on socials. You'll see when you can sign up to join us here.
There you go. So we're doing
Hey guys, Gabe
we're
El-Taib.
also doing it at Big Man Comics, booth 1705. Alan and I will be doing a signing and kind of meet and greet.
Yes.
So if you can't make it Saturday night, come by the booth. We'll be there Thursday and Saturday. We'll also do live streams. If you're not attending Comic-Con, we will do some live streams and walk around the convention floor, show you what's going on. You can ask us questions. And so follow Gabe at Big Man Comics. That's at Big Man Comics on X, and get details about the meetup. And we are doing a panel, and Alan will be there.
I will be there. I'll be sitting right in the audience.
You'll be sitting in the audience. I might need your help on stage,
Okay.
honestly. The Indie Filmmaker Survival Guide, Thursday, July 24th, 7 p.m. That's at the Marriott, right next to the convention center. April Wright will be there. Jeff Miller, director of Popeye the Slayer Man. Jim Agnew, our friend, will be there as well. Tracy Lehman from Bob Trevino Likes It will be attending, and a movie that I love, indie movie that is amazing. She'll be there. Tim Chismar from Fangoria, Comedy Central, and myself, and might add some other people to the panel if I have extra seats. But this is your video reminder to come to the panel and hang out with us at San Diego Comic-Con. Alan, and what else are you going to be doing at San Diego Comic-Con?
Let's see. I think I might be going to the Phineas and Ferb panel.
I'm going to try to go to the DC panel on Saturday. So there you go. And I will do what I do every year at Comic-Con. I will look for one thing I don't need that I must have. And usually it's like something I see and I'll walk away, and then I'll go see it again. I'm like, I kind of want that, and then walk away.
Yeah.
Recently,
And you will blow your entire budget on that.
Yes. Well, it didn't cost me that much for this Jaws sippy cup here, which I got at AMC. recently. It's kind of cool. I like.
It's just a cup.
It's just not just a cup.
It's like
I'm
did they
gonna
stick a figurine on top of it? Is
Look,
that what makes it cool?
I plan when I go to San Diego Comic-Con, I plan to buy something I don't need that's stupid, takes up a lot of room, and I will sell it at a yard sale, donate it 5 years from now. That's what will probably happen. So there you go. A couple more comments and we'll get into news stories, and we have a lot.
From Matthew Hammond for 2, The Offer was a great series.
Oh, thanks.
How many episodes is that?
It was only like 8 or 10. It was very short, but I loved it. Loved it.
Too long. Saint Shimerian for 999. Hey, hi, Frank Gore and X-Ray Girl's dad. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. You guys are at the forefront of movie reviews and entertainment news. That's right. I've been reading Film Threat for years. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. And also, Alan's review of Superman will be up on the site when?
Well, I believe someone put your name on it. So I was wondering if you were writing it or if I was.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it? Okay. Then Friday. Because it sounded like you were doing it. And so I wasn't.
No, I no. Sorry about the confusion.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Lord Comment for 5. That was a Clash of Titans reference, Chris Gore, and I still owe you a coffee and a hangout, Chris Gore, from like 10-ish years ago, and I will bestow it.
Oh, thank you, Lord Comet. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to save all the Superman comments for later. So I'm not ignoring you, just letting you know we're going to get to those. Hey, are you looking forward to Naked Gun?
Not after talking to David Zucker, but yes, I am looking forward.
Yeah, well, the David Zucker, that kind of ruined it for me too. Because I like the trailer, and then I heard what he had to say, and I was really disappointed. A new clip has posted. Shall we look at this to see if we're excited? All right, let's go for it here.
Excuse the mess. I haven't had the heart to clean since she died.
My condolences. How did she pass?
Great. 50 R's easy. Arm like in cannon. And then she died. She was the sweetest woman I've ever known.
She sounds like a saint.
Or maybe a Bronco or a 49er. He would have been happy with any team, really. Anyone but the Browns.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Gonna say dumb.
Yeah.
In the spirit of Naked Gun, but I think Leslie Nielsen delivered it better. What's weird is like the week before Naked Gun releases, there is another very serious Liam Neeson action movie with a completely forgettable title that I don't even remember. And we got a screener for it, Alan.
Oh, okay.
FYI. So that's weird. Like he's been putting out these Taken inspired movies for the last several years since Taken was a hit. He can't seem to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. It's I'm getting more and more nervous about Naked Gun.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch my interview with David Zucker, he kind of gets into why the thematic issue of Naked Gun, and his feeling was that Seth MacFarlane is basically doing his version of the Naked Gun, as opposed to why not create something different. And so what he was saying was, you're probably going to see a lot of rehashes of jokes from Naked Gun, when really what you want to do is you want something fresh, something that's just not a tribute to the old film.
Well, it's a style of humor we saw in that joke. How did she pass? Oh, 50 yards. Like they had a football conversation about his ex dying. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of the jokes are predictable.
Yeah, and they took the past joke and then just took it too far. You know.
It was a Hail Mary.
Basically.
Hey,
but yeah, like you saw the infrared, the heat vision video of I mean, that's basically from the old series. and that's what Zucker was saying is, you know, they're just going to take the jokes from the original film and do them again, which is what people don't want, or what he's saying is what he doesn't want.
Alan, it's time for us to meet the family. The Fantastic Four. This is look, I know what a Pedro Pascal fan you are. Like, you're a super fan. Honestly.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal, definitely.
Yeah.
He is a man's man.
A new behind the scenes dropped, and I've got these clips. Let's meet the family and see what they have to say. This is from the set of Fantastic Four. Here we go.
That behind the scenes. There was just so much care and love that was put into this family. Our hope is for that to translate into the movie. Casting really is a gamble. Who knows if we were going to get along? I knew we were going to get along.
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
We're very lucky that we had that unique experience of being as connected to each other as the characters are.
I don't think chemistry is something that you can force. I adore Vanessa like a sister. Pedro, I'm going to work with him for the rest of my life.
Oh.
Evan and I are constantly trying to rile each other up, make each other laugh.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't want to! All four of us wanted to bring as much humanity to it as we possibly could. You just find these little things that help tell the story.
We will defeat this together. As a family.
We really mind all of the nuances, all of the intricacies of these very, very human relationships.
I think we'll be family forever.
All right. So what do you think? They got along as a family, you know.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
The same thing I have about Superman. I just seen way too much of this stuff. Just show me the movie. The more I see, the more I realize Ben and Reed are so low energy, and that Sue is definitely becoming the leader of the Fantastic Four. I mean, you just saw a moment there where it's like, we're doing this as a family, as she tells the boys.
Right. Well, what can you say? But look, I know you shop at Hot Topic all the time.
Yes.
And that you're a Pedro Pascal fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the gift for you.
Aww.
It's a Pedro Pascal locket with a 4 on it. It's for $10.90. And you can buy one, get 2 free right now. Wait, is that right? Buy one, get 2 free, and if you buy it in the next 10 hours.
So you buy one, you'll get 3 Pedro Pascal lockets.
Yes.
That you can give away to your friends and your family.
I know who needs this. I don't need this. But
certainly you have 3 friends who could use.
I love the Fantastic Four. It's my gateway comic. I've always wanted to see a great movie. I have no interest in any merch related to this at all. This movie. Don't care. Not interested. I don't know. I just, nothing about it grabs me. This incarnation of the Fantastic Four doesn't grab me. But I got to let you know something, Alan. There are some early reactions to a screening of 30 minutes of footage. I'm going to bring up the story here, and I'd like you to read just the bits of this. I'll get into it here. It's from comicbookmovie.com. The Fantastic Four First Steps preview reactions hail it as the best MCU movie since Avengers Endgame. The problem is, I think we've heard people say that about every movie since Endgame. Every movie. Now, this extended preview that's 30 minutes is not the first 30 minutes of the movie. It's from the first and second act. But why don't you read this to me, Alan?
You know what? Unless you send me the link, I can't read that.
Okay, that's great. Well, I'll send you the link. But what are your thoughts?
My thoughts? I mean, I got to see what they say. I don't know why they're releasing
it's to
are
promote
they
it.
releasing stuff that just shows up on Reddit?
Right, but look, I sent you the story. Read
Yeah, I
the
got
stuff in gray here. You've got the link, but there's a highlight in gray of the comments of people who did see it. And by the way, there is this will be the one thing I'll buy. There is a Fantastic Four First Steps. It's a tie-in comic. And it says it includes a huge origin change. So I've only been able to find it as a Kindle. You can buy it on Kindle, but I kind of want the comic. Anyways, Alan, if you would read what's in the gray.
Yes. So this is from For Fantastico Bra. And he says, what was shown not only surprised me, but genuinely moved me. The entire setting of this universe is unique. It's a great gift for the fans. It all starts with an intimacy we're not used to seeing in this type of movie. It feels like we're meeting a real family with vulnerabilities, humor, affection, and purpose. The dynamic between Reed and Sue is one of the highlights. We saw many scenes of the two together, and Vanessa and Pedro are in perfect sync, truly conveying the feeling of a couple that's been together for a long time. Their relationship shows right from the start that this movie goes far beyond showcasing superpowers. Ben and Johnny also shine. Each has a very well-defined personality, and the chemistry between them works from the first moment. The jokes come at us the right time, and you know how it is, Johnny being Johnny. The plot all has a family-oriented tone, and this becomes clear with the arrival of baby Franklin. This is pure Fantastic Four. They're not just facing a major threat. Family bonds are at the heart of the story. The final sequence of the preview I watched is one of those that makes the entire room hold its breath. The CGI, flawless. And the buildup of danger feels real. You sense the weight of what's at stake. Could be the greatest movie ever.
Well, they've made that statement before, the best movie since Endgame. That's pretty much every movie they use the same quote. I don't know. I think the bar is low now post Endgame. We shall see. You and I are seeing it the 21st. That's Monday, the 21st. We will go live that night with early reaction. We'll do a special show. We will probably not do Hollywood on the Rocks that week because it's week of San Diego Comic-Con. But we will do an extra show either Monday night or Tuesday.
I believe the embargo is Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We'll do a show early for sure, and that'll make up for not doing a Wednesday show. And then we'll be doing live from Anyways,
just so you know, the review embargo is the Tuesday morning following the screening.
So we will review it Tuesday morning for you. I don't know. People, this is a weird trend now. They don't show people the whole movie. They show you 30 minutes of the movie, like a montage. Then you go do your interviews. This is a new trend in promoting movies. I don't like it.
Well, and it feels like that. They say don't spoil anything, but it's going to show up on Reddit.
Yeah.
And I think they did it on purpose. I think they just said don't share anything, but they knew someone had to do it, and I think they're okay with it. I think they want to get that kind of message out there, almost as if they'd written that comment themselves.
Let's go to comments. Speaking of that,
The Roman for 2. They will say family more than all fast movies.
That's right.
Yeah, it's getting there. The Introspect M, the relaunch of Fantastic Four main title came out today. Issue 1, Volume 8. They also have a one-shot Next Steps, and that is a movie tie-in to the shops today.
Thanks, Introspect M. I will stop by a comic book store.
Yeah, maybe I'll go
I've
tonight.
got 2 in my neighborhood. So
All right.
there you go.
That's it?
Let's do this. We're going to do something different. We are going to review Superman. Then we are going to go over a pile of news stories related to Superman. But I think we'd start out with our non-spoiler review. This is our non-spoiler review of Superman. Alan, your review on the website is about to hit, but you can give us your thoughts. Why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, you want to talk about the plot or no? Okay, so basically Superman, we start in the middle of the action. Superman has been beaten by the hammer of something, Baravia. He has been flung to the Antarctic. You've seen it, all seen it. He's laying there in the ice. Krypto comes along, rescues him. He goes back to the Fortress of Solitude, heals up real fast, and then gets back into the action, only to be taken down again by the hammer of Baravia. And he leaves, and basically Superman's in a whole bunch of trouble. And the prime problem, the prime trouble that Superman is in is he stopped a war. He just went out, decided that war is bad, and he just stopped the war. And it had geopolitical ramifications. And now Lex Luthor is scheming behind the scenes to not only destroy Superman, but destroy his reputation and be done with Superman once and for all, for, of course, nefarious reasons. Lois is there. Superman, he's now dating Lois, and they're keeping it hush hush. And they have a fight, and the fight kind of surrounds whether Superman should have stopped the war, and so they kind of take some time off, and bad things happen to Superman throughout the rest of the film. I guess that's the best way I can explain it without getting too spoilery.
Well, yeah, no spoilers.
You have anything to add?
No, we really don't want to go over too much of the story for a non-spoiler. But I'll just say this. This is a very, very different Superman. And it will be divisive. I don't think it'll be divisive in a bad way. It'll be divisive in the sense that everyone is going to nitpick something from this movie. While I had fun watching it, I have so many nitpicks of things that didn't work for me because the tone of this is very Silver Age. In terms of its goofiness, of course, we knew it would be that when we saw Krypto the dog show up in the very first trailer. We get Krypto. And it's a goofy, fanciful, whimsical, very comic book inspired Superman. This is a Superman that is going to be very jarring, because in the same way that like Zack Snyder had an original score, it was epic. It was far more serious. There was very little humor to speak of. It was grounded in realism. This is the exact opposite on almost every level. In terms of, there's humor in almost every scene. Some of it lands, some of it does not. I'd say that Gunn is 50-50 or less in terms of humor that lands. But when it's in the zone and working, it's very good. What Gunn is almost afraid to get serious. And that's what I like about, look, to be clear, I like Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. I think it's aged well. That also has problems that have been nitpicked as well, including should Superman kill. In this is a very good Superman, almost like to the point of being like corny. He's sort of corny sense of being good. I mean, he saves kids. He saves a squirrel in one scene.
He blows a dog.
He protects a dog by using his super breath to move the dog from one dangerous location to another. Some might phrase it differently, but that's how I say it. In any
That's how you
case,
say it now, but yeah, go ahead.
anyways, this is the Superman of the when you would see the goofy comic book covers, you were like, that Superman comic looks stupid. Well, guess what? That's what this movie is. So you're going to either buy into it or not. I'll tell you the things I liked, and then I'll tell you things that didn't work. I like James Gunn unhinged. He is not shackled by Marvel. The women in particular, the way women are allowed to be sexy. They wear mini skirts, high heels, and
tight shirts.
Cleavage from multiple female characters. Awesome. That's great. Because what's weird is in the Marvel films, they desexualize all the women. Then those same women show up on the red carpet dressed super sexy. Gunn allows his female characters to be very female. Unfortunately, conversely, he takes the men and they're kind of demasculated. They're emasculated. And I think almost every male character cried. Superman cries, Lex Luthor cries. They all weep in some way. But there's also stuff that's like the characters. Gunn is really good at groups of characters. You've got the Daily Planet group. That was one group of people that interact, right? You've got the one character played by Beck Bennett, who was the sports guy, lecturing Clark about the use of adverbs. That's very fun. Then you've got this other group, the Justice Gang, with, Guy Gardner was awesome. And Mr. Terrific, just great. Love that character. So Gunn is really good at.
Well, don't forget you had the Lex group as well.
Then the Lex group, even the Lex group, and his sort of minions, his minions of sycophants, and all the things that were talked about on Reddit, the groups of monkeys, the hashtag, social media aspect. That stuff is all true. That, in many ways, I think is what's going to hurt this movie. This movie, while Man of Steel, I believe, has aged well by having a story that's timeless. This movie is far too rooted in present day social media, shame, politics, selfies. There's this politics of two warring countries that you could read into it as Palestine and Israel. It could be Ukraine and Russia, whatever. There's always some war going on, I guess. You could read into it. That was the least interesting part and got a lot of screen time. And so for everything I can say that I liked about the film, there's something that just didn't work. And it's so as a whole, look, if forced to give a number rating, I give it a 6 out of 10, which is a bare recommend. But I'll say this movie is going to kids, children, young boys, young girls are going to love this film. And I really think it will resonate with families. This is the Superman movie I think people had hoped Man of Steel would have been. Zack Snyder took a very serious approach, often dark, and even muted in the color. But, this movie will be talked about by fans in a way where that'll be like having a conversation at a comic book store, right? Where you would just nitpick everything and this, I didn't like that. And this character, I love those conversations. So while the nitpicking, you could say is a bad thing, I'm glad that we're talking about nitpicky stuff like this rather than wokeness or gender or race swaps or whatnot. I think the one thing that I disliked the most was the emasculation of the male characters. While the women were allowed to be women, the men should have been able to shine. The movie didn't do that. 6 out of 10 for me, ultimately in the end. And I want to see it again. Because I do feel like with a film that's like this, you need time to like let it percolate. Yeah. And I'll end on this and hand it to you, Alan, and we'll go to comments. One thing that's missing is America. Truth, justice, the American way. In the press, you've seen this thing about an immigrant story, right? There's a reason that people from countries all over the world want to come to America. And just like the American flag, Superman as a character is iconic. He's a piece of Americana. And to back away from that, I think that that's a huge mistake. People are not flooding into America because they hate this country. They love what this country represents. And Superman is part of that. Next movie, they need to make a fix about the lore. I'll talk about that in our spoiler review. We won't mention that here. Lean into America. Superman is about America and the American dream and what can be achieved. And people from outside of America admire this country. Lean into that. And so it gets a bare recommend at a 6. I had a lot of fun with it. But for everything that I loved, I turn around and there'd be another problem. Alan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, a couple things. The America thing. I'll talk more about it in spoilers because I do want to address this.
Yeah.
But look, America was there just in the same way First Man had America in it as well. I actually had a good time. And I think a lot of it had to do with my same response with The Flash. All I know of Superman is the movies and the John Byrne run. Same thing with The Flash. I enjoyed it for what it was, for the action. I enjoyed this for what it was. I definitely had issues with it. There were things I wish had been done. But overall, I just had a good time. And to your comment about this is a kid's movie, I think you're right. I think this movie will appeal more to kids. It's almost as if James Gunn had taken some kids' toys, his Superman toys, all his action figures, his kaijus, and just threw it down and asked him, hey, let's play with these toys. Because that's what this movie was. There's so many superheroes in it. There's so many monsters in it that I think the appeal there is definitely for kids. One of the contrasts I'll make with this movie is I'll compare it to the Richard Donner Superman, the first one. In that one, there wasn't a lot of money, Hollywood budget wise speaking, it wasn't $100 million movie. Also, Robert talked about this on his show last night, but the whole verisimilitude, because there was no computer generated sequences, because everything was practical, because it was mostly movie magic. You had to ground this movie into reality in order for us to believe that is Superman and he can actually fly. This one, ironically, is the exact opposite. James Gunn pretty much had an unlimited budget. He has at his disposal all the great special effects you possibly can. And I think he did away with verisimilitude and just threw in the kitchen sink of the DCU, which is the problem I had. I'm so used to Superman being just Superman and just a supervillain, and then you have Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. To me, that's kind of the movie I was hoping I was going to see, and I didn't get that. I got a movie that's grounded in the DC universe, which I know nothing about. Has all these characters. I have no idea why Mr. Terrific is called Mr. Terrific. I just don't know these characters. So I think I did enjoy the flashing images that were presented in front of me. I did enjoy the schoolboy, the Boy Scout Superman that was presented as well. But I think what really got me, look, I see a lot of these superhero films and I have the same complaints. It's just all action. At least this one had more to it than that. As much as we complain about the conversation with Clark and Lois, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the back and forth, just drilling down to this issue. Should Superman insert himself into political wars? In fact, Superman 4 was about that. Superman 4, Superman collected all the nuclear weapons on Earth and threw them into the sun. That is Superman interjecting himself into politics. And nobody saw that movie for the same reason, because they don't want that in their Superman. But to me, I'll end on this. To me, this is a science fiction movie. What I like about science fiction is more than just the action, more than just the robots, more than just space, but it's a discussion of humanity. And there were bits and pieces of that throughout this film that I enjoyed and found interesting. The conversation about Superman and war, this immigrant thing controversy that we'll talk about Friday. And let's see. And then the whole Lex thing as well. So sorry, I got distracted for a second. I'll say this. I did enjoy it, but it's definitely not a perfect movie. It's definitely didn't give me the feels that I got with Superman 1, which ironically, I was 11 years old when that movie came out. But I had a good time. And, so that's kind of my thoughts. I'm a little bit all
Well, do you recommend it, and do you have a number rating in your head yet?
Yeah, I have a 7.5. I do recommend.
Oh, you're even better. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll add one more thought
Mm-hmm.
to this. I think of myself when I saw the 1978 Superman. I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like 12, 13 years old.
I was 11.
I saw that movie. It blew my mind. It was the biggest movie that year. It was incredible. And I think of who I was. I was a kid seeing that movie. There are going to be kids that see this movie that this will leave the same kind of impression that Donner's Superman left on me. And a lot of people can't watch that movie now because the effects are cheesy, right? I like it for the performances and Christopher Reeve in that film, and Gene Hackman and Valerie Perrine. Don't get me started. But what I'm saying is, this is a movie for the low, short attention span, TikTok, Gen Z generation. It felt like, if there's one big flaw, I would say it's the pacing. It's this relentless. I felt like I was watching a recap video of season 1 of the Superman TV series on Max. I said that on social media. It feels like they condensed like 8 hours of content into like a 2-hour recap because so much happened.
Yeah, it's like riding a roller coaster over and over again with no breaks.
Right. That's what it felt like. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. In a good sense, it'll get kids to sit down and watch a 2-hour movie. Movies have gotten too long these days. 2.5 hours, we complain about it. There's certain movies that earn a 3-hour running time or north of 2 hours, others that don't. This movie did not overstay its welcome, got in and out. It was over. It could have been longer. I think difficult to say that about many films these days. That should have been longer, but end,
it should have been longer in the sense that there needed to be longer breaks
and the other
time to catch your breath.
The other thing it didn't do, one final thought. The one thing it didn't do was, this is not a spoiler, like a post-credit scene that sets up the next thing that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. There is a post-credit scene. We won't say what it is, but nothing that's like, oh no, this character, that happened to so-and-so. Nope. Standalone. You come in the middle of the story. It ends too soon. And I can't wait to see what Gunn does next. So while it's not an overly, there's as much I didn't like as I liked, which, why a 6 out of 10 for me. I don't think this movie will age well. I just don't think it will. Whereas Man of Steel has. I'm still giving it a bare recommend. You liked it more than me. And there you go, Alan.
Yeah, I'll just end on it. This is definitely a James Gunn movie. It's got his fingerprints all over it. And what I like about how he handled it was it's more like the world was a James Gunn world, and then you have Clark and Lois in the
right.
And, Clark and Lois are the straight person in this weird world. And I kind of like that.
Literally, they're the straight people.
Yeah. I mean, man, they were when they were making out, they were making out. I mean, literally, he could have poked a hole in her head with his tongue. By the way, they were making out. So I mean, I do. There are things. Yeah. I do like. Okay, so I'll end on this. I do like the fact that that there was a lot going on. What I didn't like, a lot of stuff that happens in the movie, the broader picture, the world, global things, are all said through discussions and talking. You don't see that, but at the same time, it really is about Clark and Lois. And I do like the fact that the movie starts with Superman being in a vulnerable position. He's losing. He is not Superman. He is Superman, but he is losing. And I do appreciate that. That's where James started, and that, to me, that's what makes this movie feel like a James Gunn movie. Yeah. He tells the story in his way and not in a traditional way.
And we can give our criticisms all we want. For the most part, the current Rotten Tomatoes score is, I believe, 86% critics, 96% audience, verified audience. Those scores will go down, but for the most part, people are really enjoying this movie. I don't think it's a home run. I think at best it's a double. You know, it's but the box office remains to be seen. It's possible, with the appeal to families and kids, that this movie could do even better. The north of 700 million remains to be seen, and we will report on it. Let's go to comments.
All right. The Roman for 10. I appreciated the post-movie review last night, but you guys are too harsh on these popcorn flicks. Yes, not everything needs to be genre-defining. The movie was fine and a proper blockbuster. You guys are the best. I agree.
Oh, thanks, The Roman. Appreciate it. And also, by the way, let's save our spoiler review for Friday, because we have a lot of news stories.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a programming note. This is the bonus you get when you watch live. You get us doing comments and.
Okay, Oscar Elizondo for $4.99. Rotten Tomatoes audience score predictions after the weekend, currently at 96. It'll stay around there.
It'll drop. I don't think it'll drop below 90.
Yeah,
maybe 89. Maybe 89. But that is huge, and we'll see the cinema score.
Yeah, let's just say there'll be a lot of monkeys writing reviews on the.
Yes, there'll be monkeys.
Lord Khan for 2. This Superman movie has gone to the dogs.
Yeah, you know what? Krypto. Yeah, I had just enough Krypto.
Yeah.
In fact, by the way, I'm going to see the movie again on Thursday night with my girlfriend's dog. Well, it's kind of my dog now.
Why does it sound like
it's like a mini version of Krypto? I ordered a cape for her. I don't think it'll arrive in time. I'm kind of pissed. But whatever.
You too.
Thanks, Lord Comet. Hey, Valiant.
Yeah. Valiant Renegade for 10. I agree with Chris. Lots things I question, but ultimately I walked out saying it was fun. Even if it felt a bit more like a Justice League intro / origin movie, blows a dog, LOL. Geez, Alan. Chris said.
No, I did say that. I did not intend. Now, when I said that, blowing a dog, I was reacting to a clip.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Valiant. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
I love watching your show. Valiant has one of the best voices on YouTube. His voice is, you could read the phone book, Valiant, and I'm listening.
Helios Ending for 5 Canadian. When I was young, I used to side with Haley Joel Osment and Jude Law. These days, I'm more likely to side with Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, not sure what that's in reference to.
All right, Jimmy X Drummer for 25. I believe that's Norwegian something. Hi guys, how can I do what you do? I mean, maybe work for Film Threat. Plus, my Dune 4-hour cut is 99.9% done. Cheers, Chris.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy X Drummer. Your Dune cut. 2 questions. The Dune, you can respond. Go to filmthreat.com/contact. Email, reference yourself. Is it Dune, Denis Villeneuve's Dune, or Lynch's Dune 4-hour cut? Secondly, and I don't know, what do you want to do for Film Threat? You know how to message me. Get back to me. Thank you so much.
But if you want to review movies, we definitely have openings for that. Royce Ness Bailey for £2. A 100 million plus film has to be incredible, not just okay. Then explain Minecraft.
Yeah, explain Minecraft. That's a terrible movie, and made a lot of money.
Lord comment for 2. No one is gonna dehorse Reeves as Superman. Period.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah,
he's my favorite. I like Cavill, and then Corenswet, I think, is a very good Superman. But he's not.
I think they've all been good Superman. At least
they've all been good.
The movie Supermans, yeah. Brandon Routh was good. Bad script. Ministry
Dean Cain
of
was good. Dean Cain. I'm on with Dean Cain and Piers Morgan tomorrow.
Cool.
Dean Cain was part of the panel.
That's right, because he's Superman.
Yeah, that's right.
You just realized that now.
And what's so funny, Piers Morgan got all excited about my comment about women and then showed a scene with Dean Cain where there's these 2 hot women fighting over him. He's like, yeah, like brought back sexy women. Women allowed to be women. Movies have I think that's a Disney thing. You've seen in the Marvel movies, the women get completely like desexualized.
By the way, let's not forget that Warner Brothers did something that Disney and Universal couldn't do, and that's put an Asian in a movie.
Yeah,
Superman
likes Asians.
Is it so hard to put an Asian in a movie?
Yeah, there's like trillions of them on the planet.
Exactly, half the planet is Asian.
Yeah.
Ministry of Wrong Thing for $4.99. We live in a cocoa melon attention span age. That's why kids love it so much. There's no room to think about what you're watching.
True.
RJ McReady for 2. It's the most comic accurate Soups since Reeve.
Yeah, thanks. It is.
HR Star 24 for 5. Is Soups like Top Gun Maverick? I thought there was a lot wrong with that movie, but I still loved it, and it crushed the box office.
It's Top Gun Maverick is a much better film.
Yeah.
Yeah, much better film than this.
I mean, if I'm not hung up on the lore of Superman. I mean, do you think that has a lot to do with
Friday?
Okay, all right, we'll talk about Friday. Something to look forward to. Valiant Renegade, hey, again, for 5. Live show in an hour talking Superman and reading the phone book.
Thank you, Valiant. I will be watching your show while I'm answering email because I'll be done with my show. Go watch Valiant after this.
Yep.
Thank you.
Jimmy X Drummer for 10. Denise Dune, and writing reviews. Yeah,
hit me up.
us.
Hit me up, Jimmy X Drummer. The messages go to Alan and I. That's great. 4-hour cut. Can't wait to see it.
Aryan for 100. I am not American, but I do wish to see Truth, Justice, and the American Way, because that's how I have read Superman comics. Is this better than Man of Steel? And I say yes.
I say no. That's why you get multiple opinions here on Film Thread.
Man of Steel.
But I like Man of Steel better.
I don't.
With its flaws.
Uncle Remus says Superman pick up Krypto's poop after he craps the neighbor's lawn, and does he fly away?
Yes, in a deleted scene, which I hope they do a gun cut.
From PT, Snyderverse has changed people's perceptions of what Superman should be like, but comic book nerds say it's the best and captures the tone. Superman has humor in source material.
True. Look, the thing is this. It's like, I love the Reeve Superman 1978. I love Man of Steel. I think that movie has aged well. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but I grew to really love it. And I like what Gunn has done. They're all different. But it's like when you have a different artist, writer team on a comic book, the tone changes. You got to get used to it. I think in the end, this is the more populist Superman. It's family friendly.
Well, I know when I read the Byrne run, he redid Superman, his story. R.J. McReady, if you loved and read Silver Age Supes comics, you'll love this. It's super comic accurate.
Yeah.
Dark Hierophant. I haven't seen Superman yet. I can tell you that I would rather watch it twice before Fantastic Four. That's if I even watched Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So we will do a spoiler review on Friday. So we have something to talk about because there's not many, that makes sense. Atomic Lori programming note. Let's do that. But we have a lot of news stories related to Superman, and David Corenswet is one of the best aspects of the new movie. He really is. He is a very different Superman, a younger Superman, an earnest Superman. And I really like what he did with the character. I think also the suit looks better. The suit looks better on the big screen than it does in all the clips that we've seen. Isn't that weird? So let's take a look at, I have a clip here of David Corenswet talking about the suit. So let me bring it up for you. But do you have any thoughts on that, Alan?
I mean, I've been saying a lot. We certainly did it when those set photos came out and we looked at the suit. I've always said it'll look different in the movie than it does from the tabloids, and I was again proven right. Yeah, I agree. It definitely, the early clips we saw, I don't know. I was not convinced. On the big screen, it looks better. Here's David Corenswet talking about the costume. This is from GQ.
All that training so I couldn't fit into my costume. They had built my costume based on my screen test measurements, where I was 6'4" and 195 pounds. And then I showed up 5 months later, still 6'4", but 240 pounds.
Oh,
so that first fitting was a bit of a squeeze. There were always situations where things would work great in the fitting, and then you would get on set, you'd be in a specific flight pose or a specific fighting stance, and you would realize that this great move that the stunt team or the fight choreographer had come up with, you just couldn't do. You just physically couldn't do. I can't move my arm in that way. If I move my arm in that way, it moves the rest of me in this way, so we can't do what you think we can do. I can't lift my head up and put my feet back in all these things. So it's important to know that building a superhero suit, it's not fucking easy. Months and months, and really, ideally, a year of research and development about fabrics, and they're printing stuff on the fabrics, they're dyeing the fabrics, the colors are so specific. All of this makes every iteration of the costume time-consuming, complicated, and then you have to fit it on a person. Huge credit to Judiana and to her whole team. I spent so many hours in fittings with them, never once poked me with a safety pin. They, with limited time, especially because of the strikes leading up to shooting, our time prepping was limited, and they did an amazing job building this suit from scratch, making it so that I could fight and fly in it. I think the one thing we never figured out was how I could sleep in it. Only matters to me because I'm the one who wants to take a nap at lunchtime. It doesn't really matter for the movie that much. Aren't too many sleeping scenes in Superman movies.
There were a couple sleeping
That's
scenes.
the clip. So, first of all, the thumbnail for this clip is going to be use the word fuck somehow, because Superman says fuck. That's crazy. But everything I've seen of David Corenswet, when he talks about this, he is giddy about being Superman. He really does in many ways represent the values of Superman, at least everything I've seen from the press. And there's been a lot. He's avoided controversy, and that's great. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, compared to Pedro Pascal, I mean, someone finally got PR training, and David Corenswet, you did a great job. I don't know. Christopher Reeve seemed to have a good range of motion in his suit. So did George Reeves. I don't know why this one had to be so cumbersome. But look, I just saw Death of Superman Lives, the documentary, and boy, talk about a complicated costume. That was one that they were going to put on Nicolas Cage, where it was plastic and made of many parts, and so the plastic would move with Nick Cage's movements. I don't know why we have to complicate this stuff, but like you say, I think David Corenswet. We've been pretty much hitting it out of the park with the people we cast as Superman compared to every other superhero in the world.
Here's another clip. Here is another clip from the red carpet where David Corenswet addresses what he wants an audience to get.
Which one is David?
He's the 6'4" guy on
Okay.
the right.
Okay.
So, but I'd like to see. I watch all the red carpet premiere stuff because celebrities are they're kind of unfiltered. It's live. They can say whatever they want, and I'm not sure who the villain is on the left asking the questions, but let's hear what he has to say.
I mean, a lot of people have already brought up the word hope, but I mean,
I think a sense of wanting to take responsibility for things. Superman ultimately is a figure who loves taking responsibility for people, for situations, for saving the day. And unfortunately, we don't have a Superman to swoop in and save the day. We only have each other.
Yeah.
So if people leave the movie feeling a little more energized to take responsibility for themselves, for their loved ones, for their communities, people who, have delusions of grandeur and want to take on the responsibilities of the world, I think that kind of energy is what we're hoping
one
to
good
convey.
act makes a difference.
Yeah, once you see people around you start taking care of things, then you're kind of like, oh, maybe I'll take care of some stuff too. And then all of a sudden things start getting done.
Yeah. Well, I really, I don't want to spoil anything, but I feel that in the movie. You do a wonderful job.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
for
so
all of
much.
your work supporting us and with the social stuff, which I'm useless at, but you've been great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, look, he understands the character.
Yeah.
Is you be a good person, you inspire others to do good. I like that.
Is that so hard? Just if you get cast as Superman or Reed Richards, is it so hard to just do some research, find out who these characters are, what their values are, why they fight the way they do, their, who they are, their values beyond just their powers. You get that from David Corenswet. You don't get any of that from Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro is maybe the most disappointing recent casting of a classic comic character. I mean, I think that everyone has mentioned it, and nothing in the trailers has convinced me otherwise. But having seen this Superman, very different vision from, Henry Cavill, Zack Snyder's vision, which I also like. This is different and it's more for kids. And I think that's a good thing. It's possible too that like the Harry Potter movies, what I liked about the Harry Potter movies is they aged up with the audience. It's possible that the Superman, the DC films may get more serious in nature as we go. We may see, them change in tone. So they're kicking it off. I think this will be great for kids and families, and they could get more serious in future Superman stories.
Yeah, I feel like this movie, I'll throw it out there. I think the movie's going to perform better than people expect.
Hey, Will Reeve is the son of Christopher Reeve. By the way, it's Reeve, no S on the end. It's Reeves if it's possessive. But
unless it's George, then it's S.
Yes, there you are. Or George Reeves. I think that's the confusion, actually. George Reeves played Superman before Christopher Reeve. And that's wherein lies the confusion. This is a short clip with an interview with Will Reeve. And let's take a look at what he has to say about his involvement with the film. He's in the movie.
What's up, guys? Now joining me on stage, we have Will Reeve.
Oh my God.
Metropolis reporter. Will, talk to me. I mean, you and your family have such a history within the legacy.
Who is the midget that's interviewing him? The guy's very tiny.
Or something?
Well, look, you know what? I might be tiny on stage. I don't know how tall Will Reeve is, but let's get back to this. Let's see.
Of this character and just sharing his message with the rest of the world. My earliest memory is watching Superman 78 on VHS. And so from watching that film to now be here doing this at the world premiere for Superman, talk to me about what this means to you and what it's like to see so many fans continuing to celebrate Superman.
Oh, well, I love it. It's such an honor. I think that Superman is an iconic character for all time. And my dad, way back when, was the custodian, the steward of the character. And now it's David's turn, and it's this whole amazing team of filmmakers and actors. It's their chance to shine and show off what they've done, and they did a great job, and I'm just honored to play literally a tiny part in this. And everyone's been so good to me, inviting me along to hang out and hang on the red carpet with my fiance. Like, it's a great time. It's awesome.
It's a great time. And hey, I gotta say, even though you have one scene, you are pretty great in that one scene, I must say.
Well, sure. I have I don't want to spoil it for anyone who obviously hasn't seen it yet, but I have some practice playing the role that I play in this film.
Talk to me about what it was like getting that phone call of not only, hey, Will, you're going to come to the set of Superman, but no, we actually want you to be in it.
It was great. I was in the middle of dinner, I remember, and I got a call from a number that I didn't really recognize, but I answered it for some reason. And they explained who they were and what they wanted me to do. And I said, yeah, I'm in. And that was kind of it. And it's been a fun journey since.
Now, getting to see David do his thing as Superman, what was that moment like for you, and what do you think David brings to this role that is just very special?
David brings a humanity and sincerity, I think, to the role that is necessary for Superman. Superman's kind of an earnest guy who just wants the best for the planet, really, and for the universe. And I think David is that type of person too, in his own way. And getting to know him has been a real treat because he absolutely inhabits this role, and he has a lot of similarities with my dad. They both trained at Juilliard. They both take this role very seriously. It's not just dressing up in a cape and tights. It means something more than that, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Will, it's an honor to speak to you tonight. It's an honor to be here for this film. Thank you so much for joining us, and congrats on the movie, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
he really looks like his dad. I mean, he could have
except for the height thing.
He could have played Superman.
I guess this is a question. Is it the interviewer who's short, or is it Will who's tall?
I think both can be true at once. But I'll say you will see Will Reeve in the documentary Super/Man.
Mm-hmm.
See that doc. I saw it in a theater. I sat and I didn't cry. I got weepy. And I think almost everybody got weepy at the end. That was a really great documentary. Hey, one of the things that is also being praised in almost every review, positive or negative, is Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. He has been praised for his performance. And what I like about Nicholas Hoult as an actor, I did meet him once at a screening for a film that he was in last year. Yes, I met for that. First of all, he is tall. And he's very, very polite, but in every role, he really goes for it. You know, as Beast in the X-Men films, in the Mad Max movie, Witness. I mean, he really melds into whatever role, and I just think he's perfect casting as Lex Luthor. Here he is from the red carpet. Let's take a look at this here and see what he has to say. I think people are unanimous in praise for both Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor and David Corenswet as Superman. So
now, guys, here we have the villain of the film, Lex Luthor. Nicholas Hoult is villainy. Nick, you just came from London. Now you're in LA. How does it feel to be here tonight celebrating this film ahead of its opening weekend?
I'm so excited. The closer it gets to all the fans getting to see the movie, it's been really lovely spending all this time with all the cast and crew on this tour. But now it's time to give it to the fans, and hopefully they enjoy it.
Superman and Lex, you and David bring these characters to life in such great ways, in such just like there is so much to dig into your performances into this film. What about these two characters makes them so iconic and has resonated with so many people around the world?
It's because they've been around for so long. And I loved David's interpretation of Superman and Clark Kent. He's such an incredible actor. But even more so, just watching him, how he is with people, his priorities, the work ethic he brings to set, but also the kindness he brings to set to everyone around. And watching him and Rachel in scenes together is so dynamic and beautiful. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to have a new Superman and for it to be him.
Now, Nick, we got a ton of fans here tonight, but there's a ton more watching online. What's your message to the fans of the world in terms of watching Superman in theaters on the biggest screen possible?
Oh, I mean, this movie is so unique. James Gunn is a wonderful visionary director. It's fun. It's so heartfelt. And you want it on the biggest screen possible because it's a magic cinematic experience that will change how you feel about being human.
Nick, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on the film, brother. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
He is really good. He is really good in the film.
It's like he was hugging his little boy.
Yes, his son. Oh my God. But I expect Lex Luthor to show up in a future Superman movie. If there are, this movie could tank. Everything, nobody knows anything. All the pundits saying, well, here's the estimates. It's this, it's that. I mean, I don't know. My gut tells me. I mean, did anyone predict Minecraft?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If kids respond to this movie will make a lot of money. Yes, probably in the 8, 9. Do you think it'll hit $1 billion?
I don't know. I don't know, but I think it could be north of 700.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. Someone's saying Nicholas Hoult is 6'3", which is only 2 inches taller than me. So, yeah, so that interviewer is short. I think he was hired just to interview the ladies from the film.
Let's go to some comments here. We have more news stories about Superman, all Superman related today.
Yeah. From Jean Hu, gifted 5 Film Dirt memberships.
Thank you, Sean.
Lord of the Films also became a member, a YouTube member.
Thank you. And Andrew Cram, amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the conversation around the Superman film.
Yeah, I think the conversation is healthy. You can watch it, our live stream from last night. It's about an hour and a half of people, people giving their opinions and whatnot. And I don't know. I like this conversation. We can nitpick a comic book movie, but we're not talking about wokeness or all that. I like this, and it's fun to talk about nerd stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And hey, shout out to Yellow Flash too. You can feel his anger and hate for for Superman in the movie. He really brought out that rage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that worked.
That was surprising. I didn't think he'd be that good as Lex Luthor.
Hey, Yellow Flash, I hear you like the film. Cannot wait for Flashcast this Saturday. Cannot wait. So
you will stand alone in your opinion.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, you and I disagree.
I know. Dante liked it.
No one agreed last night. No one agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was all over the map.
Yeah, but at the same time,
healthy.
we sure had a lot to say about what was wrong with Superman last night.
I have a lot of problems with the movie. At the end of the day, I think kids are gonna love it. Oh yeah, Jimmy X Drummer sent you an email, Chris. Thanks for everything. Okay, I'll respond.
Lord Khan for 2. The best Superman is always someone else's. Yep.
Yeah.
Andrew Cram gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Very generous. Thank you. Jimmy X Drummer became a YouTube member.
Hey, and Jimmy, look at our members only videos, including there's a interview with Denis Villeneuve on there. Scroll down, look for it.
Lord of the Films for 199. Who's the more Chad Superman, Cavill or Corenswet?
Cavill. Like without thinking, Cavill.
Yeah. Look, I think Cavill.
Alan, it's Cavill.
Cavill filled out the suit much better. I'll say that.
He may have filled out the suit, so to speak. I mean, I'm using your words, Alan, but I don't know. I think that there's other things that got filled out in the movie that many could look forward to. I think this might be the best Lois Lane we've seen.
What?
Alan, your thoughts?
Yes. I want to say the words uncanny valley.
Sure.
I think you're right. I think of all Superman films, this cast filled out their outfits the best.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
what's your thoughts though on Lois? Being serious.
I expect longer and I expect bigger. Longer, bigger. Long, bigger. Bigger. Longer, bigger.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know that I would give her performance an A, but definitely a D, maybe even a double D. MK solid for 2. Do you guys think do you guys think Corenswet or Brosnahan will?
Will what?
Well,
I mean, if I'm Superman, I'm gonna. I can't. That's distracting. MK solid. Thank you for that. I think they will. Whatever you say they will, they will. They will do that. Hey, are you going to get any of the Superman toys?
No.
You're not?
I feel like you want me to answer it differently.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There are popcorn buckets. They were there last night.
Yes, they were.
They had the popcorn buckets. Yeah. There were multiple popcorn buckets. The one I kind of want is the Krypto dog bowl because it has a practical use. A dog can use it as a dog bowl. And you can put popcorn, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you can clean it out after the dog uses it and then pop popcorn. And eat
exactly.
popcorn.
But here's a look at the 1/6 scale Superman and Krypto. The pre-order on Sideshow it's $285.
Wow.
There are 44 people viewing this now, including us. That looks really good, actually. Now, does the Krypto move? I'm looking at
Doesn't
this.
look like it.
Yeah, I don't have room for anything here. I'm trying to purge possessions as it is. But man, that is detailed. I have to say,
oh wow.
Yeah, there we go. There's 18 more photos. Let's go through these. I don't have room. If I did, this could be on the list. I mean, you could just get a dog that looks like Krypto and put a cape on your dog. But I don't know, not bad, I gotta say. When it comes to merch, Krypto is the new Baby Yoda. I really believe that Krypto is going to be hugely popular.
Do we have any of the $30 toys?
Yeah, not the $300 toys.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it moves.
Man, that likeness is amazing.
That right picture looks weird.
Look at that. The bulge is there. There you go. So I don't know. I don't have room. I'm mostly a Batman guy before being a Superman guy, but who knows? It could be tempted. Hey, James Gunn has been saying a lot. He has been front and center in the PR for Superman. And here he is in a clip. I'm going to show this. It's a little long, but worth seeing and discussing. This is him. He's breaking down his iconic films. This is from GQ, and we're gonna hear him talk about Superman here for a few minutes, and then we will comment on the other side. But it's worth seeing. Check it out. Here we go.
Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
They came to me years ago and said, "We'd love for you to do Superman." This is like Toby Emmerich back in 2018.
A quick comment. What is this? I know he's being interviewed for GQ, but James, I'm not one to get fashion advice. I'm mostly a t-shirt and jeans guy, but that jacket looks dumb. Am I wrong?
I didn't really see it. So
look at the jacket. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore it and just listen to what he says. The jacket, it's goofy. Oh, God.
James can do no right when it comes to promoting Superman.
Right. Now, here we go. Come on.
Or something. I was like, I don't know how to do Superman. And I just always was thinking, how do you do Superman?
See the jacket? What is
I mean,
that?
that's hanging in his closet. Is that his wife's
What is that jacket?
That has to be his wife's jacket. He grabbed it by mistake.
I'll tell you this. 100%. He did not pick that out. GQ wardrobe dressed him, or his wife dressed him. And then
yeah, they looked at him and said something with a giant black pocket.
All right, just ignore this. Ignore the horrible fashion sense from GQ. I expect better. Well, let's here we go.
Superman, how do you do Superman? I had a hard time with it. It's a lot of responsibility, and it is a tightrope act, because what is it about the character that needs to remain the same, that is truly important to who the character is? And where can you take the chances and go in the other direction to keep audiences wanting to see this character that was created in 1938? What can you add to the lore of Superman in the movies to make it a little bit different? And that's when I did Suicide Squad. I have always focused on oddballs. On the one hand, Superman is the ultimate oddball. He's an alien from another planet who doesn't belong. On the other hand, he's the ultimate not an oddball. He's a strong, masculine white dude who's like just very square and center. How do I find the story that I want to tell in all of that that's going to be interesting and artistically invigorating, that also won't, make audiences run away? And so that was always just the challenge of it all.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me
problems around the world.
and doing good.
What I think it's about is goodness and the core values of kindness and compassion towards other human beings, and how it's important no matter what. Every life is sacred. Those are the values that I grew up with, and those are the values that I believe in today. I think you hear Frank Darbo saying exactly what I believe at the end of Super. When you don't do this, you don't do that, those things do not change.
You don't sell drugs! You don't molest little children! You don't profit on the misery of others! The rules were set a long time ago!
And I think Superman is about that, but he lives in a world where everything seems relative. And he lives in a world where goodness is considered old-fashioned. Goodness is considered Pollyanna. How do you tell that story about that character who's essentially a good character, but also has his own crisis of faith in the movie that we see?
Your actions, that's what makes you who you are.
I don't believe in superhero fatigue. I think there's, mediocre movie fatigue. I think you can tell stories about anything. You see the same.
So he agrees with us.
Yeah.
That is really weird. He's kind of echoing a statement that YouTubers have been saying. And I do think, oddly, there may be a reference to our friend Gary from Nerdrotic at the end of the movie. We'll talk about it in our spoiler review.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
I think it's a reference to Gary.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. James Gunn watches Friday Night Tights.
I'm sure he's aware. If he is aware on social media of what people say, he's aware of what people say on YouTube.
same gangster movie over and over, you're going to get so bored. But if you see different types of criminals doing different things that are involved in different activities, different levels of morality, different styles, it's not going to ever get boring. And I think the same thing is true about superheroes. And if the only thing that we have to offer is one character showing up and seeing two characters together that we've never seen on screen before, that was really exciting when it first happened. Nobody cares anymore. This concept of superhero fatigue in one way is real because there have been a lot of superhero movies that maybe haven't been up to what they should have been or what the audience wanted. You see the same thing happening across the board with movies in general, that people are not making the movies that need to bring people into the cinemas. That's why something like Barbie works so well. Barbie did something differently than what other big movies like that did, and people went to the theater. And I wrote Margot the morning that came out. I said, thank you, for helping to keep theaters alive. I saw Greta Gerwig the other day. I was like, thanks. And I think there's a few filmmakers like that now. I think Matt Reeves is like that. He's a filmmaker that makes big pop movies, but they have soul and they're different. And whether you like his movies or not, that's not the important thing. He is doing something different. Being able to see those chances being taken on a big canvas is important. I want the cinema going experience to continue. I want, my nephews and nieces and their children to be able to experience what I've been able to experience, going to a theater and seeing the magic of cinema. I just think we need to take risks. It hasn't been happening because people are so afraid of making a mistake. I think we should make a lot more mistakes.
That is the James Gunn I missed. I like that James Gunn.
He clearly watches us.
No, but I'm saying the very thoughtful, supportive of cinema. This is the guy I knew back in the day. The guy that came from Trauma that made that. Super is one of my favorite movies of James. I know everybody says, other films or whatnot. I love the first Guardians. I still think that may be his best movie, but I love Super. And I really want to see this movie do well. I want to see it do well.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't love it over the top, I think it's important to look. This was a big swing. It was not a miss, but it was not a home run. But I like that version of James Gunn, and good on him. Just try to avoid being baited by some of these journalists. I know it's tough. The press tour has been relentless for Superman. So there's so many situations that the cast and James are put in where he could say something stupid, but that is one of the most thoughtful interviews and commentary I've seen, and good on him for repeating things that other YouTubers have said, including us.
Yeah,
Alan, your thoughts?
Yeah, I appreciate that he didn't come off as, remember a couple weeks ago we talked about, we played the video of Jared Bush from Disney Animation. It sounded political. He just sounded like he was saying what he needed to say to make everybody look good and make all his projects look good. In this case, James just felt like he was being authentic. He had actual thoughts about Hollywood, the system, and the problem of superhero films. And it felt, just the fact that he was quoting us quite a lot, it only says that he's coming off as authentic.
He's not quoting us. He is.
I like to think he is.
He is echoing thoughts that have been said by many.
I like to think he's quoting us. That's
where
wrong.
Where he's basically said, not bad movie. It's not superhero fatigue. It's bad movie fatigue. People have been saying this. It's not an original thought, and he said it. So there you go.
No, he's quoting us.
Okay.
He watches Friday Night Tights, and he's been quoting us.
He's quoting Film Threat. Thanks, James. Thank you, James.
Next time, a little attribution would be great.
Hey, let's go to comments.
All right. Press M to start for 2. Toxic Avenger at Hall H this year. Y'all gonna go?
Yes. Once I find out, I haven't seen the programming schedule yet for Comic-Con. It has not been posted.
My feeling is Hall H will be easy to get into this year. JM for 199. Gore criticizing fashion from the Film Threat swag closet.
Look, I said it's weird coming from me, a guy that's t-shirts and jeans guy. I do have a couple tuxedos for certain occasions, but for the most part, but that jacket was it was kind of wacky.
None of our tuxes have a giant black pocket on the front. Oliver Larry Frog for $4.99. Film that breaks another exclusive James Gunn watches FNT every Friday without fail. That's right.
But it's funny because his statement is thank you, Oliver. His statement is very much like things that have been said by others. So it's just,
well, it's just weird to hear someone from Hollywood actually say it.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to leave it there because we're going to save our spoiler review of Superman for Friday. We've got a lot of other movies to review, lots of news stories, and we will do those on Friday. So we're going to cut it short because I was up late last night. I was up late last night doing a stream about Superman and then watching other people talk about Superman. And once I get off this stream, I'm going to watch other people talk about Superman. So I'll be watching Valiant Renegade. So go to his stream after that. Come back and watch us on Friday. Next week, we've got we've got Eddington coming out. We've got Fantastic Four. Lots going on. I want to thank our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, Atomic Glory, Glenn Nuccio. Thank my friend Alan, who's posting.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, he's posting his Superman review on Friday, you say?
Yes.
Friday. And it will be on the website. It will be a spoiler review. Look for it.
By the way, I have been reviewing Superman things this whole week, starting with Quest for Peace. Yesterday was Superman and the Mole Men. I believe I'm doing a Turkish Superman movie on Thursday.
Oh, it is amazing. It is the Superman reviews on the Film Threat website have been fantastic.
Oh yeah, I reviewed Death of Superman Lives.
Yes, my friend John Schnepp.
Yeah.
Let's go to the front page of Film Threat right now. I don't know what this is, Alan. What is this movie?
Chatterbox.
Okay.
I want to say it's from Dances with Films.
All right. Well, Film Threat posts a lot of reviews every day, indie movies, short films, whatnot. But Alan is covering old Superman movies. Here is Superman and the Mole Men.
This is the pilot to Adventures of Superman.
Yeah. Here's other movies here. I believe Superman. Here it is. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
What an awful movie.
On the front page of Film Threat right now. So check that out. And we will be back on Friday. Thank you so much for everyone who sent in a super chat. And just thanks. There you go. So, Alan, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
You want us to get out of here?
Is that the one you're talking about?
What do you mean? All right. Take care, everyone. See you soon.
And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.